everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Sports to the Wire. For those of you who are actually new to the show, I am your host, Rashid. My boy, Beric Burrell on the other side, co-host extraordinaire.
What's up, guys? What's going on? A pleasure as always.
All right, so Beric is actually truly disgusted, and as you can see with the title on, we got remove that. That was the previous show there. Beric is actually really disgusted with Ben Simmons in a sense, though. He's like, he was about to throw up. He says he had a bad taste in his mouth. He couldn't eat. And how atrociously that Ben Simmons actually played in the series against Atlanta in a sense, though.
Okay, yeah.
So, all right. So the title of the show is, should the 76ers trade Ben Simmons?
Yes.
Beric, take us off, baby.
Well, it's so hard to sit back and say, man, after a bad series, you'll kick him to the curb. But if Ben Simmons, I'm going to ask the question, if Ben Simmons cannot sit in the offseason and work on his shooting game, work on your free throws, then the 76ers should look around and start fielding offers from other teams. Don't get this mistaken. This man can defend as well as anybody. He came in second for Defensive Player of the Year. And he won it last year. This man can defend. He can pass the basketball. He can run the floor. What happens to his jump shoot? Let me say something else that really bothers me, that really ticks me off. Between games 4 and 7, Ben, why didn't you take a shot attempt in the fourth quarter of games 4 through 7?
Now you understand what I was saying in that game 3 with the Milwaukee with the Bucks and the Nets about how Kyrie didn't shoot in the last 4 minutes. Now you understand what I'm saying.
But that was game 3. Ben didn't shoot for 4 games. 4 games in the fourth quarter. You're talking about Kyrie for 1, Ben 4. Explain it to me. I don't know. I don't get it. His confidence must be about as low as an anthill. It must be right there on the ground.
That's what I was going to say. It's either they're not instilling confidence in him, 1, 2, he doesn't have the confidence in himself, or 3, he's going to just pull a Blake Griffin and he just doesn't want to be in Philadelphia. What do you think?
I think he wants to be there, but things didn't quite go the way Ben thought it would go through the first couple of years in his time in Philly. He thought it was going to be a dynamic duo, him and Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid showed he is the man. Joel Embiid showed that he was a gamer with a bad knee. And look what he was doing day in and day out. Confidence is so important in this game. Basketball IQ is the next right underneath it. You combine the two, it's amazing what you can do on the floor. But let me run the last 3 games against the Hawks. Okay? In game 5, he played 38 minutes. 8 points, 4 rebounds. In game 6, 25 minutes, 6 points, 9 rebounds. All right, in game 7, 5 points, 8 rebounds. No shot attempts in the fourth quarter. Free throws.
We know he can score. I mean, listen, in the playoffs, I don't know. I mean, teams are going to back off of him. They're not going to let him get to his strength and go downhill. We know that. I mean, Ben Simmons right now is a regular season player. He's not a playoff player. I mean, he's just not. I mean, there's too many limitations to his game. You can arguably actually say that you can't even play him in the fourth quarter because if the game is actually close by 1 or 2 possessions, they're gonna go hack a Simmons.
And you know what?
Now you can't even play him in a sense, though. So
that's my whole thing. Exactly. You're right. You're 100% right. Where was he on the bench? Yeah. Something's wrong with that. And Doc Rivers had no choice because you're not going to help me score the basketball. You can't shoot a free throw. And it was the play in game 7.
I think he's happy with his passing, like playing like Jason Kidd. He doesn't really care about points in a sense, though. But listen. Jason, in order for you to be a really, truly great point guard, you have to be a scoring threat first. Then, as the defense collapses on you, then you can actually find, like open guys or guys for like backdoor cuts and then get guys into certain positions where they can actually thrive. But if you can't score, man, or you don't want to score, then I get it, because I play like Ben Simmons. I was happy with 6 points. People are like, what, dude? I was good with 6 points, Berg. I swear. I was happy. If I scored 6 points and I had like 10 or 12 assists, I was good with that. But if you want for Ben Simmons to actually, for him to actually be your starting point guard, and you have to push buttons for him to get him to actually play, that's not good.
Yeah, I know, and it's funny because late in Game 7, Ben Simmons had I forgot who he's posting. He posted up who the hell he posted up? I think he was posting up John Collins, and he made a move on him, and he had a wide open dunk. He dished the ball off.
Yeah, I saw that.
He had a wide open dunk, and he dished the ball off. If that is not indicative of a person who's lost confidence in himself and his ability to score the basketball, that play basically defined it all.
It could be like a Blake Griffin situation. I mean, look, the man supposedly couldn't dunk in Detroit, and he comes to Brooklyn and he's looking like old Blake again, dunking on people with the offhand, diving to loose balls. And maybe he just doesn't really like his situation in a sense, though. And
well, then he's going to have to come out.
James Harden comes to the Houston training camp, 25 pounds overweight. So. This is different. This is why we're talking about it, because we can't compare him and Harden, because Harden did come out of shape. This man came into camp in shape. This man came running out pretty good in the regular season, like you said. Regular season, he was doing well. So we can't basically compare that. We got to look at what he did in this series against the Hawks. Why did you not take one attempt in the fourth quarter of 4 games? Why can't you make a shot? Why didn't you work on this shot on the offseason? What's going on between Daryl Morey? What's going on between Morey and the conversation with Ben Simmons? First of all, let's explore some trades. They're talking about Ben Simmons for Andrew Wiggins. I don't like that move, because even though Joel Embiid is a really, really good player, this league is a cardio league. I look at his size, and you gotta, these bigs can actually really shoot the basketball. I mean, he has to go out there and cover. Let's say Jokic, he can hit the 3. Now you're asking Joel Embiid to actually play on the perimeter now, opposed to being down low. And
Joel did play. But Joel did play.
I just don't like his weight. So you see he had that meniscus injury. You're asking a guy of that size to move laterally now. These bigs today, it's no longer north-south. They have to be able to move east-west, when they on the picks. Let's say Brooklyn and Philadelphia was to go at it, then you would have Kevin Durant at your 5, Jeff Green at your 4. Both are really, really good 3-point shooters. So now you're saying that's what was happening in the Bucks series against Brook Lopez. I mean, they would come up and set, Bruce Brown would come up and set the high screen, and Brook Lopez can't get out there and contest Kevin Durant in a sense, though. Can't. So you're asking Joel Embiid at that size, I think he's like 280 something, 90 pounds, to play on the perimeter. I don't like it.
Usually with a high screen pick and roll, the person that's in the paint, which will most likely be the guy playing the 5 or the 4, has to come out and defend.
Yeah.
And if you watch the game today against Milwaukee and the Hawks, Bobby Portis was the guy who was playing the 5 at the time.
Yeah,
and he had to come out and get Trae Young, and he fell asleep. So
Trae Young. Listen, Trae Young is fast, man. I'm watching it. I didn't realize he was a blur. I mean, he's just like the way he can get downhill so quickly. I'm looking at Trae Young, and I'm looking at Ben Simmons. I'm like,
Well, I mean, listen,
normally, like I said, if you look at these players, right? You look at these players, the history of these players: Michael Jordan, Pippen, Harden, Durant, LeBron, all these guys. Steph Curry, 27 years old, is there when they actually, when they're on their skills start to actually develop, the jump shooting, the footwork, all that stuff develops around 27 years old. Look at Trae Young, man, and look at Ben Simmons. I don't think it's going to take a long time for Ben, because Trae Young and all these guys came into the league with this, with good footwork, with a good jump shot. In a sense, they've been doing it all their lives. You're going to ask Ben Simmons now to do it now and sacrifice in the offseason, Barrett? That's the whole
Yeah.
key. You gotta
Yeah,
give up.
absolutely.
You gotta give up those vacations now. And you gotta
Absolutely.
put that time in the gym now.
If you're going to keep if you're going to keep him, if you're going to commit to him, then he has to commit to himself. If you don't think this is going to work, then Daryl Morey and the rest of the management team is going to have to put together a package that's going to be interesting for both the teams involved to get him moved. And you're going to have to bring someone over there who is going to make up for the defensive prowess that he brought to the table, along with being able to score the basketball. Jermaine Wiggins,
Andrew Wiggins.
Andrew Wiggins. That's right. That's Jermaine. Andrew Wiggins.
No, you need somebody that can actually get guys in spots. You need a point guard. I mean, if you're going to get a guard back now, Ben Simmons on that team with Steph Curry and Clay. Woo,
and Wiseman, their big man Wiseman. He's gonna be a good guy too. Yeah. Wiseman, he got hurt, but
Ben Simmons got to do is put pressure on the defense, get downhill, collapse the defense, and then kick it out to open shooters. That's how Philadelphia needs to really structure the team. I've been saying this for years. I like Joel Embiid, but Ben Simmons, listen, if he can't develop a jumper, if he doesn't want to, then you're gonna have to build around him by getting shooters around him in a sense. So
you have Steph Curry over there. Steph Curry, he came in with Steph Curry's been doing very well for them.
The thing with Steph Curry is that if you chase him off the 3-point line, he can still put the ball on the floor and then make really good passes, make really good decisions. If you look at Joe Harris, right, he's up there with Clay and Steph.
I'm supposed to be about Joe Harris right now. You chase
him off the 3-point line and he doesn't make good. Same thing with Kyle Korver and these guys. You chase them up 3-point line, they don't make good decisions with the basketball in a sense, though.
So that's their job. That's their job to hit them threes, bro. That's their job. I mean, I'm sorry,
what you can do is you can chase them off the 3-point line, make them put the ball on the floor. A guy that's not just as strict like Kyle Korver. How you actually neutralize him? Get in his space and then take away the three. He's not good at putting the ball on the floor and getting to the basket and making plays. Steph and Clay are. So yeah, if you actually do that, man, I think it's a great fit. But Andrew Wiggins back for Ben Simmons.
I don't think that's going to be. I don't think that's going to be a great trade. And it may not be. And let's look at one other thing before we cut this short. It may not be a great trade offer out there anyway. We've had conversations before, like who else is out there that can save you? Who else is out there that can save you and bring you over to the next level? We don't know who that player is. Who is that player right now?
They had a chance to get James Harden, they didn't do it. That was a big mistake.
Well, hey, listen, Daryl Morey was over there. Do you think James Harden wanted to work with Morey again? Do you think he wanted to work with him again? I'm not surprised he didn't go over there. So at the end of the day, who else out there can save you? If you let Ben Simmons go, you're getting rid of his defense, you're getting rid of his passing, which is important. Who is going to basically replace this man and then add the scoring that you need? That's going to be the question. Yeah. If there's not a good deal out there, Rasheed, if it's not a good deal out there, if there's no one out there that can save you, then you're going to have to commit to this man in the offseason. He's going to have to commit to everything that's important and get him right. Coach him up right, get him right, and have him come back next season. And most importantly, his confidence where he could
be. Truly ask, does he really want to be there? Because like I say, he could be pulling a Blake.
And you know what? Can I say one thing before we cut this short?
Yep.
Daryl Morey was asked after the Sixers, the day after the Sixers got eliminated. He was asked, "Oh, we're going to have any kind of conversation about trading?" He said, "Hey, listen, there's about 26 other teams that wish they were in our position. But right now, I can't really go into what we're going to do in the offseason."
If he really wants to be there, he's young. He's young. Except that there's rare exceptions, but for the most part, he's 24 years old. They don't start making impacts really, like their games really start to hone in until like 27.
Yeah, we get that. Yeah. But they expected more out of Ben now at this point. They expected more out of Ben.
Take a break with Joel Embiid and these are two young players. Be glad that you got to this point, like Daryl Morey just said. Though you're right. It's true. Be glad because most of the time you don't. You're with young players. I mean, you look at Ja Morant. Out first round. I'm surprised they even made the playoffs, but But be lucky, and just let them develop in a sense. Put pieces around them, and then we'll see actually what happens.
Well, we're going to see in the offseason how this works out, but I think Ben stays in Philly. I'd be a little surprised if they trade him. But again, like I said, I'm going to make sure I'm really clear about this. I don't see a trade out there that's going to make Philly better than what they were in Game 5, Game 6, and Game 7. If there is a player out there, it's going to have to be someone close to a superstar level, somebody that they're going to be willing to trade for, even if they have to spend the money for them. We shall see. We'll keep our ears to the ground on this one.
All right. We'll wrap this show up. If you like the video over here, please like, comment, subscribe. Certainly share this video. When you share, the universe certainly shares back with you.
That's right. Peace.